So you're doing everything you think you're supposed to be doing as a tax sale investor, but you just aren't seeing the success that you desire. If that is where you are at in your tax sale career, you have come to the right place. This episode is for you. Now, first off, before we get started, my name is Casey Dimon, and I've been investing in tax liens and tax deeds for well over 2 decades now, and I've been training others for more than a dozen years through my videos, my books, and my comprehensive training platform at TaxSaleAcademy.com. All right, you're a new investor, and you are struggling to gain traction, or perhaps you're an experienced investor that has found themselves kind of on a plateau. This episode is going to help you. Now, I don't remember exactly where I heard this phrase, but being disappointed is simply what happens when the blueprint that you have in your mind for whatever it is that you're trying to achieve does not match the reality of what is actually happening. For many tax sale investors, including myself, there's going to be times where you're disappointed. Maybe it's a deal that you just screwed up on. Maybe it's a deal that you missed out on. Maybe it's just a lull in your income or just a time when things are difficult. So I got a few ideas that I want to discuss with you today that will hopefully help you reframe where you are at and provide you with some strategies to help you get moving forward in the right direction again. The first thing that I want to do is highly encourage you to make sure you're being realistic. Now, I know this might not be popular, right? I know you want something that is actionable, you can go out there and do right now. But in the income opportunity category, which is what a lot of people refer to tax lien and tax deed investing as, there's people that are going to throw out all sorts of unrealistic expectations. So you need to make sure that your goals are actually realistic. Now, the way you can test this is take a solid look at what you are expecting to be doing right now. If you met all of your expectations, where exactly does that put you? And does that match the work you're actually putting in? And if you were to continue on that trajectory, on that course, and expand it out over time, are you being reasonable? You know, I get messages all the time from people that have very unrealistic expectations, and I'll tell them that. You know, people will tell me they want to complete their first tax sale deal and make 20 or 30 grand within a couple of weeks. Can I do that? So can you make 20 or 30 grand on a deal? Absolutely. You can definitely do that. But is it unrealistic to expect that that happens within a couple of weeks of getting to this business? Yeah, absolutely. You know, when we expand that out, that means you'd be making over $800,000 or somewhere in that ballpark for your first year as a tax sale investor who potentially just learned about the business last week. That's not realistic. Then other people will tell me that they went to one auction and they were disappointed they didn't win a single property. They expect to buy a property at every single tax sale. Again, let's dissect that just a little bit. If you go to one auction and you get one deal, let's say you make $5,000. Great. So you expand that out. You go to one auction every single day of the week, Monday through Friday for a year. That means you're making over $1.3 million as a first-year tax sale investor. Again, probably as somebody who learned about the business perhaps last week. That is a little far-fetched for somebody who just got into the business. And by the way, those numbers are absolutely obtainable, 100% obtainable in this business. I can guarantee you that. But do not expect it right out of the gate. Analyze your expectations and really think to yourself, be honest with yourself. Is that possible? Are my expectations realistic? Or is it just some sort of pie-in-the-sky type dream that probably won't happen but to 1 in 10 million people? Make sure you are realistic. The next thing to analyze is going to be your approach and how you approach your tax sale properties. What I find a lot of times is new investors tend to go after the most basic, as seen on TV type properties. They think that the keys to success in real estate solely mean that you must go after that 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom flip that needs a remodel. Then you can go in and you can make loads of cash off of it. You know, the flip this house type TV shows have conditioned many people into thinking that is what real estate investing is. And if that's what you want to do, by all means, Go forth with it. That's fantastic. Keep at it. But real estate is much more than flipping that 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, holding open houses, and baking fresh baked cookies. There's a lot more to it than just that one very specific avenue that you see a lot of times on these TV type shows. Explore the other potential investments that are out there. Explore some of that stuff that's just not all that exciting. That's perhaps even boring. Explore that dilapidated house that you can turn right around the week after buying it and resell it to one of those flippers without breaking a sweat, without lifting up a hammer, and without dealing with any sort of contractors. Explore vacant lots that you can get so cheap you have buyers lined up to buy them from you the day after you purchase them. Explore that perhaps interesting stuff that pops up where you can hit a grand slam when you recognize it, of course, but explore the stuff that is maybe just a little bit outside of what you expect real estate investing to be. Go at it a little bit different than anybody else. On that same note, of course, is to explore different avenues. If you've been investing in liens, consider deeds. If you've been investing in tax deeds, maybe go after some redeemable deeds or liens. Maybe explore OTC properties. Expand what you are looking at. We as investors, myself included, we tend to get tunnel vision and we get stuck in such a rut that we often miss out and forget about the other avenues that we can make money with. I've done a few episodes on how some of my Tax Sale Academy members have made money in this business. There are many, many different ways to make money. So keep your eyes open and find what resonates and what works with you the best. The next way to overcome your struggling is expansion. Simply put, do more and do it across all different avenues. And I know this won't be a super popular one, but that's the truth. When I first got into this business, I was literally working 5 a.m. until 10 p.m., sometimes even later. I put in loads and loads of hours. It was absolute insanity when I look back. Obviously, I did not have anybody to learn from. I didn't have YouTube videos or podcasts, no really books that were valuable. So much of the time that I spent was learning what I was doing. Research was also much, much harder back then, but I did put in the work. And still, to this day, I will see Tax Sale Academy members who are very, very active. And they'll invest a substantial amount of time into learning, into researching properties, into going to auctions. And those are the ones that are always successful. There are no shortcuts outside of learning from somebody who has started where you started and who has gone where you want to go. It takes work. It takes effort. So do more. Along those same lines, expand the market areas that you are investing in. I hear all the time from frustrated investors. They say, listen, I'm not getting any good deals. What can I do? After I probe a little bit, I realize they're only trying to invest in one market, which is typically going to be where they live. If it's not local to them, they don't want anything to do with it. Well, what if you're not seeing success in your local market like a lot of these folks that contact me? What if the market you are investing in is lousy because it has way too much competition? Because the frequency of auctions is far too low. Maybe the quality of the properties are just lousy. Whatever it is, what should you do? Very simple. Go to another county and another county. If you have to, go to another state and another state. The whole idea is to cherry pick the best properties from all these different markets based on your investment objectives. I've got plenty of episodes on investing out of area, and it's something that we teach deeply inside the Tax Sale Academy. I have people from all over the world inside the Tax Sale Academy that are investing right here in the USA. And guess what? They don't live here. They live in other countries. You do not have to be where you invest. So keep that in mind. Expand market areas if you're not seeing the success that you desire wherever you're investing right now. And lastly, simply increase the number of properties you see sold. Increase the volume. If you go to one tax sale a month, that's one chance a month, let's say, that you have to buy some tax defaulted real estate. If you go to 2 tax sales a month, you suddenly doubled your shot at success. But if you go to a tax sale every single day of the week for a month, you've suddenly increased your shot at success, 20 times over? Obviously, that requires more property research, which requires more time. But the more efficient you are at research, the more success you're going to see. And it works in multiples once you know what you're doing and how to be efficient. And it's not just auctions we're talking about here. This includes maybe reviewing more OTC liens and deeds as well, which are the primary source for a lot of tax sale investors out there. You are not going to see success doing the bare minimum. This includes the time that you invest into your business, the properties you research, the markets you attend, the tax sales you go to, the properties you buy, the properties you sell. It's very simple. Do more, get more, make more. Keep that in mind as you enter this business, as you pull yourself out of wherever you're at right now, that plateau or that struggle you're going through. Do more, get more, and make more money. It's as simple as that. Now, something else to consider is something I'm pretty big on, learning. Listen, I've been doing this for more than 2 decades now. There are very few people out there that have the amount of experience, the amount of diverse experience that I have in this business. I know a heck of a lot about this tax sale thing. There's a whole lot of things I don't know anything at all about, but when it comes to tax sales, I can promise you I know a lot about it. But I also invest time into learning more about this business every single day, even after more than 2 decades worth of being in this business. Maybe it's a sales book. Maybe it's reading about the latest technology. Perhaps it's reading new tax sale laws that impact me, new real estate laws that impact me, new judgment, Supreme Court rulings that will impact me, or just simply looking at what other investors are doing to see if there's something somehow that I could learn from other folks. I am always learning. Now, this can be as formal for you as joining the Tax Sale Academy, for example, but it can also be something super informal. Perhaps you just browse the Zillow listings of the top realtor in your area to see how they market properties, what verbiage they use, what photos they use, what information that they provide, or the marketing techniques that they use that sets them apart from everybody else. Or maybe it's something like skimming the local zoning or land use notices to see what's going on in different sections of town. Maybe it is attending a public hearing for a zoning change. Maybe you can learn something through that. There are ways to learn every single day that will have a positive impact on your business if you actively seek them out, but that does take effort. And lastly here, as a bonus perhaps, if you are making progress, it's time to make slight adjustments and expand on that progress. Odds are, if you are in this business for any period of time, you probably made at least 1 or 2 successful investments. Now, if you're just starting this business, maybe there's 1 or 2 little things you've learned and you can expand on those. So whether it's actual investments, money in your pocket, or it's just aha type moments, expand on that. Stop comparing your beginning stages to everybody else's highlight reels. This is something that I see on social media daily, and it's a real issue, I think, in our nation or probably even the world. But first, many folks that you see on social media highlighting these big deals, they aren't doing as good as you think they are. And the ones who are, they've been at this for many, many years, often decades, more than likely. So compare yourself to where you were when you first started. Don't compare yourself to anybody else on social media simply because it won't serve you one bit of good. Take your successes, again, whether that's money in your pocket or little pieces of knowledge that you've learned, and expand on those successes. Compare yourself where you are right now to where you used to be and keep moving forward. Don't try to compare yourself to me or any other investor out there, and especially a lot of the folks on social media that are doing it for likes and clicks and attention and all that good stuff. Just compare yourself to you and how much you have grown and keep moving forward constantly. Hopefully that helps you out. That is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this podcast episode or any of the episodes here on the Tax Sale Podcast, do me a huge favor. Leave some positive feedback on whatever podcasting or video platform you're listening or watching us on right now. These are free episodes, of course. I don't charge any listening or membership fee or anything like that. But your positive feedback truly helps us out in the podcasting world and might even serve to pay it forward to somebody who learns about this incredible business simply because you took the time out of your day to leave a positive feedback comment or click that thumbs up button. And as always, if I can be of any additional help, there's a whole bunch of links in today's show notes, including one to the Tax Sale Playbook, which is yours for free if you cover the nominal shipping costs. Or if you want every bit of training that we offer, make sure you check out TaxSaleAcademy.com. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.